For Jeremy Mullins, this morning's crash on Walback Road in Clay County put his skills to the test. Mullins was asleep when he heard a really loud crash, ran outside and saw this truck slipped in the bank.
Just trying to figure out what we had, how many people was hurt, get them on the porch, get 911 here and try to tell them what was needed.
While emergency crews were on the way, Mullins jumped into action, trying to help the 11 people who were now seriously hurt. And he has the training to back it up. He's a captain for the West Virginia Air National Guard and has 15 years experience. He's trained in what he called casualty collection. He got everyone that was hurt away from the crash to his porch and told them not to move.
We had 2 that were really bad, immobilized, didn't want them to move at all. We had 1 head trauma that he needed to sit down, and 2 broken arms. 1 guy had trouble breathing, mainly just to get him stabilized, not to move till the ambulances got here.
Mullins said it was a hectic scene, and he tried to help everyone that he could. 17-year-old Kara Conley was trapped underneath the truck. Mullins said he crawled down the bank to try to help her, but couldn't find a pulse and knew it was too late.
You just try to help the ones that you can. There's nothing I could do about the one. There was no way I could move the vehicle. I had to have a crane to get it off of her.
But it was quick thinking and the right training that Mullins said probably helped save some of these young lives this morning.
I'm still in shock, though. I've never been through nothing like this before.
Shock for Jediah Elkins and his family after last night's storms destroyed his West Avenue home in South Charleston. Everything they own now sits in the front yard.
We lost everything. My daughter's room, everything's gone.
Elkins said about a foot of water started coming up through his floors. He and his family had to run to a neighbor's house to escape the flood.
I looked outside and said, we got to get out now. And just like that, we couldn't do nothing. It was terrible.
Patrick Nicholson owns the Rock Lake Barbershop just down the street from Elkins' home. He said he didn't know his business was damaged until he got to work.
It made my stomach turn inside out immediately when I saw it, because this is how I feed my family.
Mud covers just about every inch of his floor. Nicholson said it's going to take him days, if not weeks, to get his shop clean and back open.
That's money lost, and, can't make it up once it's gone.
City crews also had to spend much of the morning trying to get this underpass on Rock Lake Drive back open. You can see water still standing hours after the storm.
This underpass here was flooded with several feet of water. I want to give you an idea of just how much water. Take a look right here. You can see that is the mud line left behind from all of that water. I'm about 5'9" tall in these shoes, and you can see there was a lot of water that flooded this underpass.
A big mess and a big loss, leaving Nicholson and Elkins to find a way to move forward.
I work hard for all this, and it's gone. Everything's gone.
Police tape stretched across 10th Avenue in Huntington, and investigators were combing for clues. A fight turned deadly inside Gary's place Friday morning, and 23-year-old D'Angelo Urquhart was shot multiple times. Jeannie Tarpley lives just a couple of houses down from the bar and said this neighborhood has become extremely violent.
Prior to this, there's been several shootings. People coming out around on the street and just shooting down the street. And the last time they shot out car windows.
Huntington police have noticed too. Investigators said they've responded to several calls in this area just this year.
Within the last 6 months, we can say shooting incidents in the area have picked up. Some incidents in this bar have been noted in our CAD system. Response, several crimes. So this is becoming actually a nuisance.
So much of a nuisance that police are planning on taking action against the bar. Whether that means shutting it down, police are weighing their options.
We'll start with the Alcohol Commission. We'll have them review our reports of the past incidents involving this bar and the general location of the bar after hours. Take some action that way. And, of course, the city can step in with code enforcement, which we now have enacted, which will really help greatly in this situation.
A shooting Tarpley said is unfortunate, but she's not surprised it happened so close to home.
It's sad, but like I said, it's a sign of the times. It's not just here. It's not the property owners. They're really nice people. But it's just everywhere. I mean, they can't help what people do. You can't control the world.
24 people in Chesapeake, Ohio are now trying to find a new place to call home after the motel where they were staying was damaged by fire. Eyewitness News reporter Caitlin Sykes was on scene all morning long since 5 o'clock this morning, as a matter of fact, and she joins us now live. And Caitlin, fire officials are left wondering at this point how this fire started.
Edgerton fire officials know that the fire started in an abandoned building next to the motel, spreading to the motel. They're just not sure exactly how. Now, as the state fire marshal's office starts their investigation, these people are left to start over.
I'm just trying to stay positive right now and just hope, that everything goes okay.
Amber Warder is trying to stay optimistic after a fire destroyed everything she owns.
I'm just heartbroken.
Warder, along with 23 other people, were staying at the Travelers Motel in Chesapeake, Ohio, when a fire broke out in an abandoned building, spreading to the motel. She said a neighbor was banging on her door at around 3 o'clock this morning.
He said, "You better get out. This place is on fire." And then I looked around and saw that it was in flames and just shocked.
Misha McLeod and her boyfriend Alfonso Pratt were staying in the room right next to the building on fire. She said she could see an orange glow outside her bathroom window before another neighbor pounded on her door, telling her to get out.
And I was just scared. I didn't know it was going to blow or not, So it's terrible. I'm thankful that I'm alive.
Fire officials said they could see flames shooting through both buildings some 20 to 30 feet high. About 25 firefighters spent several hours battling the blaze. And take a look at the damage left behind. All 12 rooms suffered extensive water and heat damage. Some of those rooms even had their ceilings falling down.
We got everyone out, and everyone is safe. That's the main thing. Nothing happened to anyone.
Hours after that initial call, that abandoned building still smoldering as people living here try to salvage whatever they can.
We have to start over and try to mend the pieces.
Again, fire officials aren't sure what started the fire. The state fire marshal's office is investigating. The American Red Cross was also out there this morning, and they'll be helping the people displaced by this fire. I also talked to the owner of the building, who estimates damages to cost thousands of dollars in repairs, but they plan on rebuilding. Reporting live in the studio, Caitlin Sykes, Eyewitness News. For 11-year-old Haley Kennedy, being a 6th grade student at Cedar Grove Middle School isn't easy. For the past 2 years, she's been bullied. She says a group of girls put her down and make fun of her just about every day.
Well, kids are talking about me and saying that I'm ugly and I'm too skinny and I don't belong in this world and I should go die and stuff.
Haley's mom, Tracy, said Haley would come home from school crying, lost herself in the bedroom, and talked about suicide.
It breaks my heart. I don't understand how children who are so small can be so mean, and the stuff that they say to her. I'm having to explain things to her, that's names that I shouldn't even have to be explaining to her.
At one point, Tracy said it even got physical and Haley was attacked. She filed a police report and has asked the school for that student to be removed from her class. Tracy said she went down to the school to plead with administrators for help.
My daughter has went around saying that she's ugly, she wants to die, she has no friends. I'm like, baby, you're not ugly. Well, no, they're always picking on me. Nobody wants to listen to me or anything. And I'm like, and that's why I keep fighting and I keep going down there and I keep begging and pleading. I just want to tell them to leave me alone and stop messing with me.
And that's exactly what Haley did. Tracy said that resulted in 2 in-school suspensions, and most recently, Haley was suspended for 3 days for a death threat. Tracy said a girl told Haley they were going to kill her, and Haley said she was going to kill them too.
And even though, bless her heart, even though she's got in trouble now for standing up and just yelling and telling them to stop, leave her alone, I'm proud of her. I've never been so proud of my daughter in all my life.
I talked to Cedar Grove Middle School Vice Principal Kevin Lilly. He said he can't talk specifically about this case, but said there is a zero-tolerance policy for bullying. The school follows the county's policy on bullying, harassment, and intimidation, and each case is handled differently. If evidence does prove bullying exists, punishment varies from in-school suspensions to expulsion. Here, Tracy said the school was able to move her out of the classes where she was being bullied.
I love my baby girl. We'll fight for her. I'm not going to stop. I'm her parent, and there's not nobody will tell me that I can't fight her battles. Man, she's trying, and nobody's helping her.
Heartache for a mother and a young girl at the hands of a bully.
She respectfully went in and told her story and told the truth, and she got suspended, and the other child come in and said, I didn't say that, so she continued going to school.